Your first alert forecast is next, and meteorologist Aaron Pickering is live at the Saba Parade of Homes with a taste of what's to come.
Well, Teresa, there's nothing like sitting by a nice warm fire on one of those chilly Arizona nights. Local builders from all over Arizona are here showing off their creations. We'll be back to show you one of them and talk to one of those builders right after this. Good evening. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Aaron Pickering. You know, we've been talking about the cool night, but it also has been very warm during the day, very unfall-like, if you will. We've been seeing those temperatures up into the low 90s and even the upper 80s. And guess what? Our average temperature for this time of year, 81 degrees. We're going to be 9 or 8 degrees above that tomorrow afternoon, 89 degrees for your high, and back to 67 by 8 o'clock. So the temperature is going up and then yo-yoing right back down as we move into the evening hours. It's already headed down right now. 68 degrees currently at the airport, wind out of the southeast at 8 miles an hour, and the dew point up just a touch. We have a relative humidity of 14%. Because we have a higher dew point tonight, our temperatures are going to remain a little bit warmer tonight than we were last night at this time. 62 degrees in Nogales right now, 67 in Sierra Vista. Boy, warm in Douglas, 72 degrees, but you're going to be dropping off into the 40s tonight. But look at that, already down to 48 degrees at 7,000 feet in Flagstaff. We're going to continue to see that downward spiral. In fact, Flagstaff down into the upper 20s tonight, and the Grand Canyon seeing even cooler temperatures. That's because the dew points are rock bottom low up at 7,000 feet. No clouds to speak of across Arizona. We have to go out into the west coast to really see any clouds at all. But notice this little counterclockwise swirl. As it swirls out here, we have an area of low pressure that's moving in toward the west coast. It's actually picking up a little bit of moisture out of the subtropics and dragging that up in the form of clouds up toward the California coastline. Almost all of these clouds and any rain that's associated with it is going to be moving up into Northern California and Oregon and Washington. Here's that spin in the atmosphere right here as it moves up into the Northern California coastline, making a landshore right about Eureka or so, moving up through Medford, Oregon, and then up into the Pacific Northwest, and then it gets pushed up into the jet stream, which is this bright red that you're seeing up here in Canada. The jet stream is really what brings us our storms, and as you notice, we're way down here in Tucson. The jet stream's up in Canada. That means no storms really expected in our neck of the woods, but we're going to take a trek out across the rest of the country, and cold air is moving in from Canada and really bringing in a lot of stormy weather as well. Take a look at the satellite and radar. You can see a storm system move through Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and it's working its way out toward the northeast, bringing with it a lot of very chilly air. I want to take you out to Fargo, North Dakota. They picked up a little bit of snow today. Not much, anywhere between ½ an inch of snow all the way up to about 3 inches of snow, but enough to cause snow flurries in the middle of the day. And it's not even Halloween yet. Mark Stein was saying, what's going on? We're going to take you out to Minneapolis, Minnesota now, where they picked up 40-mile-an-hour winds and some snow flurries, most of it not measurable. It didn't stick in many areas, but those winds causing problems in many other places. Let's go south of Minneapolis into, well, this is Iowa. We're looking at Des Moines, where they saw 60-mile-an-hour winds out of the same storm. This storm bringing with it strong winds through that area. And now, finally, our final stop, Michigan. My sister lives out there right along the west coast of Lake Michigan. She took these pictures today from St. Joseph, and you can see the waves crashing over the lighthouses there as the storm came on in and bringing with it 40-mile-an-hour winds, very chilly temperatures. So as they're getting a big chill down, we're staying nice and warm. Temperatures remaining in the low 80s, or excuse me, the low 90s and upper 80s right on through the end of the week. Halloween looking like it's going to cool down just a touch, but no rain in the forecast as of yet.
Hey, pretty calm here, but pretty cool tour, the picture tour of the Midwest there.
Yeah, getting the snow already. Mark, I know you're missing home.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, that's why I live in Tucson now. That is why I live in Tucson now.
Absolutely. All right. You're looking at a live picture of University of Arizona Stadium, where the Wildcats are taking the Trojans of USC on for their homecoming game. We'll have highlights coming up in sports, but first we're going to talk a little bit about weather. This is what's going to be affecting your week. The jet stream setting up and diving into the United States. We'll let you know how that affects you coming up. Down here at Winter Haven, we find people of all shapes and sizes and all ages looking at the lights, and we're joined with Brianna. Hi, Brianna. How are you tonight?
Good.
You going to see a lot of lights?
Yeah.
All right, and you're really excited to see a lot of lights. How excited are you?
So much exciting.
Very excited. Well, we're going to tag along with Brianna. Let's see what we can see. From Sand-on-the-Beach to the Old West, you'd be hard-pressed to find a block in Winter Haven where you can't find jolly old St. Nick.
We want to be silly.
There are so many great sights, you want to make sure you pack your camera. And, of course, a good pair of shoes. Well, maybe you don't want to walk. That's okay. Just hop on a horse-drawn carriage or maybe a trolley. Or maybe these kids have it right. Take the train.
She's fast.
Thousands of people are expected to pass through to look at these traditional
I took Santa Claus.
and not so traditional displays, but you know, their beautiful differences make Winter Haven one of a kind. So, what did Brianna think of the lights?
Cold.
She was cute, wasn't she? And Brianna saw plenty of lights, and there are lots of lights out here live at Winter Haven. Now, the festival goes on from about 5:30 or sundown until about 10 o'clock or around 10 o'clock at night, and that's when all the lights start getting shut down. So tonight, well, it's a little too late, but if you want to come out here, you can come out here through December 27th. We have all the details for you already on KOLD.com/celebrate. Just go to KOLD.com/celebrate. There you can take some pictures, and, hey, you can also check out the schedule for when you can even drive through Winter Haven. The winds have been gusting today. First Alert Doppler Live has you covered. Right now, still 15-mile-an-hour winds out there, 14-mile-an-hour winds in Green Valley, and 20-mile-an-hour winds hanging on in Douglas. Now, we're not done with the wind, and guess what? We're even going to see the rain make it here before long, but that's not going to stop some people from coming out. Take a look at some of the displays behind me. We'll talk to the people responsible for the display that you're seeing, plus show you a couple more houses. That's all coming up in your full First Alert forecast. Live, local, late breaking on First Alert meteorologist Aaron Pickering.